Hey, I got something more for you from yesterday's video about the valve lobe design. So, a couple of little questions, or the major question is, what's the difference between an SMX and a 481X? The answer is real simple. Go look on my website. You'll see all about it. The simple answer for you, so you don't have to look it up, is 481Xs have no water. There is no water in this. It's made to just run for a quarter-mile pass at a time. Push it up there, start it up, drive it, push it back. That's what it's designed for. My SMX is made to drive for hours upon hours across country and make the same pass as what the solid motor does. Okay, and we've been proving that out, and great success. So super happy with that. Anyways, that was just one answer. What I wanted to show you is something really interesting in why a couple of valve train things that happen. I'm going to show you this and just run through the mechanics of it. Not going to give you all the exact numbers because we're not doing in-cylinder pressure testing. We're not doing, there's a lot of stuff that can happen. I'm just trying to give you the nuts and bolts of it, of how this all works, and just kind of wrap your head around things. Okay, so what we have here is we just have a checking spring on each rocker arm. Okay, so they probably got 5-10 pounds of pressure, so that's nothing. Okay, because we're talking about all the excessive spring pressure that this used to have, but the cam lobe really is the excessive spring pressure is kind of a problem, but it just kind of multiplies itself on the bad lobe design or the wrong lobe design. Might even been an accident. I don't know, but it might have been something that just wasn't intentional. But we did find it, and I wanted to show you something pretty interesting. So the intake valve never opens up into cylinder pressure, but the exhaust valve does. So let's just go over the cycle real quick. So we'll just we'll get it all the way back up to top dead center here. So this intake valve opens, right? The intake valve closes. Then you can see up here, it'll be at, we'll just do plain out rough numbers. Okay, let's just pretend here is top dead center right there. I just have this little temporary pointer on here just to show you. So we're at top dead center. Both valves have lash. Both valves are closed 100%. All right, so this is on the firing cycle. So now this exhaust valve is going to open up at, depending on what the camshaft profile is, right about there, about that is 80 degrees after top dead center. So it goes up to top dead center. It's got all the cylinder pressure in it. Or I'm sorry, it has fired. It is pushing the piston down. There is cylinder pressure in the chamber, and the valve is opening up into that pressure. And this is what I want to show you because it's pretty interesting. Okay, why all exhaust rockers really take a lot of abuse, and you'll always have a larger exhaust push rod than intake push rod. Theoretically, you'd like to. It's always better. Not practical in some applications. Not saying that on every single deal. But this thing has just tried to open up, just started to move, so that's where it's trying to make its opening. Okay, so what we're going to do here is I want to show you how much pressure. I'll back this up some. Well, we'll just back it up, period. Let's see here. So we're going to put 100 pounds of cylinder pressure in here, and then we're going to try opening this valve up into 100 pounds of cylinder pressure. So I had to have Kyle over here holding this. You can see this. Kyle's holding it from rolling over because this particular engine with this camshaft profile at bottom dead center, where this wants to push it down to, actually the valve is still open, just a tick. So what we had to do is just back it up so we can give you the simulation of where this valve is opening up into. So this thing has got 95 pounds of pressure. All right, let's look here on the gauge. Watch it again. All right, messing with Kyle here. We are at It takes about 180 pounds of pressure to open up that valve when there's only 95 pounds of PSI in there. So since this is a 1940 exhaust valve, it all basically makes sense. You got 2-inch valve, roughly. So we're just playing rough numbers, okay? There's, if we were playing easy numbers, remember, 2 inches of valve. This is PSI, is pounds per square inch. We got 95 pounds of air pressure. Actually, a little closer to 90 right now. Takes a little over 180 to open it up. You see the math? So here's the big kicker. At night, where this valve normally opens up at during the cycle, cylinder pressure in an engine like this is somewhat, this is not exact numbers, so don't get hung up on the number. This is an illustration so you understand what's going on. It's somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,500, 2,000 plus PSI in the chamber in a big turbo engine like this. So it's going to take 4,000 pounds of pressure to open up that valve. Okay, so that's what that's opening up against. That's what that push rod has got to open. There's a bunch of little stuff that's all involved in there, but if there is an intake or exhaust valve opening, cylinder pressure is usually going to be somewhere in that range when and it's all the way down here. Now there's stuff moving, there's things going away from it, etc. Just giving you some rough numbers. Maybe it's a little bit less, but when that exhaust valve is opening up, if it's 95 pounds of pressure right here and it takes 180 pounds of pressure to open it, what is it when it's running? I mean, it's just a lot. So the other thing that happens, and which is even a bigger deal, so a lot of abuse on the exhaust. The exhaust takes a lot of abuse, period. It just does. The bigger problem is, since it takes a lot of abuse, especially in these big horsepower engines, when you have a exhaust rocker or exhaust valve problem, something doesn't open up that exhaust valve, it is your intake valve, which is significantly larger than your exhaust valve, is nearly impossible to open up into a non-exhausted port. So imagine that cylinder pressure pushed the piston all the way back down. The exhaust rocker didn't open up. It's got to push all that, it's compressing all the pressure that's already in the cylinder and then trying to open up this intake valve into it. What happens is it typically will either break the intake rocker arm if the exhaust rocker doesn't open up. The exhaust rocker does not open up the valve in its correct cycle. It will typically break the intake rocker, or more commonly blows the intake lifter wheel right apart. That is a common problem in any of the big horsepower stuff. So just something to give you a little more information, trying to help you guys know what's all going on, that it's not just all about spring pressures. It's not about, that's not what 100% of this is all about. It's design, it's what the valves are open up into, and just give you basic illustrations of what happens when there's a problem. Long story short, exhaust takes a lot of abuse. Just showed you that it takes a lot of pressure to open up the exhaust valve. If that exhaust valve doesn't open up, it destroys everything on the intake side. Now this is on big horsepower stuff. Your stock 350 Chevy doesn't give a crap if it knocks the rocker arm off it or not. Okay, but these engines do, and it is a big deal. So anyways, I thought I'd show you that stuff. Hope that is informational for you. Like, share, subscribe. Go look at the valve train videos in my Steve Tech section. We put the link on right at the end here, so you can click that if you want to learn more about how this stuff all works. Or it'll be right down below in the description if you're watching this on Facebook. I'm Steve Morris. Have a great day.